Support by the Hope Network Center for Autism. You can join us and be part of a mission that takes on the challenges, the barriers, the statistics, the seemingly impossible, and help us overcome them all. HopeNetwork.org/autism.
I'm being serious.
With threats like these, we don't have any time to waste.
If you ain't got that money, your mom and daddy gonna be dealt with.
We don't even have a suspect.
They're gonna move us up here, man.
If she moves at all, call me. Go, 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 go. She's likely armed and dangerous.
First saved message. I'm being serious about your brother. These G's ain't playing, girl. This ain't no game. I got your mom and daddy back, girl. If you ain't got that money, you, your brother, and your mom and daddy gonna be dealt with. So as far as you're concerned, and for the sake of your brother, you best to have that money on the wire today. I will be calling you back. Believe it. I ain't through with you. End this messages.
We've got an inmate's family that's receiving some really serious threats.
The inmate's sister recorded this call yesterday.
Somebody's calling them, threatening them, and they recorded those threats on their voicemail.
Okay. The caller's female, so these calls are probably originating outside the prison. But the way she talks, it's clear she's got ties to our inmate.
You know, these prisons are great at holding in prisoners, but these prison walls can't hold in prison crime. In a correctional setting, you know everybody there is a bad guy. I know very much where the threat comes from and who to be worried about. You just don't think about it.
Just hear me out. I ain't got no tricks up my sleeve. I'm about the business.
John Fisher, he's the master of the game. He will literally work himself to death for you.
We're expecting to find marijuana, cocaine. Either they're gonna flush and get rid of it, or they're gonna stick it up in them.
You ask him to do something one time, he'll get it done or die trying.
Threats like these, there's no time to waste. We're gonna go in here and meet with Investigator Valerie Hampton. Maybe she can offer some insight into what's going on.
She's apparently already familiar with the inmate whose family is being threatened.
Hey, Sarge, what's going on?
How y'all doing?
All right.
Hey,
Tell us what's going on.
got a cell phone we found on inmate Tommy Fisher. We did a cell phone raid in Unit 1.
You're not searching his cell, escort him out.
And that's when we found the phone.
There's his cell phone.
Bingo.
Inmate Fisher says that the phone is not his,
It's not his cell phone.
not his cell phone. Then he's scared, and we've got him locked up PC.
Do you have the phone?
Yes, I do.
Can I get that?
Yes, and the cell phone is locked.
All right. Well, if it's locked, then I'll go ahead and take it to the crime lab, and we'll have them analyze it and see what we can get off of it. Will you go ahead and talk to Tommy Fisher and get his side of the story?
Absolutely.
We'll go ahead and get moving on this right now.
Y'all see, man. Look, man, you know why I'm down here?
Why some woman was calling. I've never been threatened.
Okay. Who did you think it was that was calling?
I'm not sure.
Man, you got caught with a cell phone, is that right?
Yes, sir. Somebody didn't give me permission. When I first got the phone, he said, now this is my life, you know. He said, if you can call it, then you might as well take it.
If you got caught with a cell phone, there's gonna be consequences. You had to go ahead and check in on protective custody.
Yes, sir.
So whose phone was it? I understand, you know, what type of consequences you're facing, but tell me who this dude is. If you could just help me out a little bit, point me in the right direction.
That's the game.
Gotcha. You know what game it is?
Correct.
If a Crip seeks to reach out and touch another person anywhere, whether it be in another facility, on the street, in another state, there's such a network, this criminal organization, that they have the means to have money extorted, someone hurt.
Crips don't have no remorse. You know, they will kill you.
I rob, steal, kill, whatever. Take your pet, take your phone.
It's pretty hard to hide from the Crips. You can leave your neighborhood and you can move. The Crips is in every city, in every state, worldwide.
Have you told me everything there is to know about this?
Just
All right. He used the phone he got caught using. The phone that he got caught with belonged to a gang member. And he immediately checked himself in because he was scared. It's hard to tell whether or not the family's safe or not. I mean, it's always that possibility that something could happen. We hope and pray that it don't.
Hey, Donna. Well, what we'll do is this. Kimberly Fisher, the sister of the inmate, get her cell phone information. We'll subpoena it. And we'll trace these calls, try to see who's been making these threats.
I will be calling back. Believe it.
Go ahead and meet with the Fishers. Set them up with a recorder. Make sure they record any other threats that come into them. Since the inmate inside is a Crip, they need to try to get the person to implicate the other Crips that may be involved with them.
Okay. I'm in Portland, Tennessee, at the home of Billy and Angela Fisher. Billy, how you doing? I'm John Fisher.
Billy.
I'm Special Agent with Internal Affairs. You mind if we sit at the table?
Yes, sir.
All right, have a seat. Let's see. Now, you all are the family member of Tommy Fisher. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Number one, we'll take this extortion very seriously. Quite frequently, inmates behind the walls do try to extort money out of folks. Kimberly, you received a phone call from an unidentified caller, is that correct?
Yes, sir. She started cussing and she was trying to threaten me until I hung up the phone. Apparently, she had called back and it just went straight to voicemail.
You gonna get up that $500 and that's it. And if you ain't got that money, you, your brother, and your mom and daddy gonna be dealt with.
And another concern that I've got,
yes, sir.
This girl, if you've heard the phone calls, or a woman, whoever she is, she
Yes.
called out my address
Yes, sir.
to the nail.
BG ain't playing, girl. I got your mom and daddy's address. In Portland, Tennessee, believe me, I ain't that far to come and get your parents.
You just need to go and remember something right now. There not nobody show up here at my house.
I tell you, just like any other law enforcement officer will, if a threat approaches you, then you deal with it like you think it needs to be dealt with. I suggest you call 911 and then deal
You
with
me
it.
all you want to, but you
Yes,
gotta
sir.
think about my family.
Oh, I agree with you.
We're gonna get real.
Yes, sir. They're pretty scared. They're scared for themselves and for their son, inmate Tommy Fisher.
I'm worried that no matter what happens with this, that wherever they send him, that something still could possibly happen to him. I want him to come home.
Right now, we don't even have a suspect. I'm just hoping that Jason can trace the call to a source. She thinks she's so slick, trying to block a number. I'm gonna call Jason back at headquarters. Go ahead, boss.
Listen, I've got this subscriber information back on that restricted cell number that made the 24 calls.
Okay.
It looks like it comes back to Francis Cameron. We've got an inmate's family that's being threatened.
And if you ain't got that money, you, your brother, and your mom and daddy gonna be dealt with.
They're pretty scared. They're scared for themselves and for their son, inmate Tommy Fisher. Right now, we don't even have a suspect.
Listen, I've got this subscriber information back. Restricted cell number. It looks like it comes back to Francis Cameron.
that's calling making the threats is the wife of inmate Cameron. Cameron's only been locked up for a couple of years.
Now, this girl, you might want to know, she had her visit suspended and she tried to smuggle drugs into Cameron and got caught.
This is Frances Cameron, the wife of Adrian Cameron. We busted her in August the 23rd of 2008. She has introduced drugs, which was captured on videotape. Okay, she's reaching into her vagina area and pulling out what's called an insertion pellet. She had 12 grams of marijuana, 6 grams of powder cocaine, and various tobacco products. She'll put it back in her waistband. They know the officers are on the way. What they don't know is they're sitting in front of a camera.
Now she's suspended from visiting for life, and she's put on probation for that.
Gotcha.
But that's all right. She keeps this up, somebody can come visit her. Maybe she'll have her own cell location.
There you go. Now we positively identified the girl making the threats as inmate Cameron's wife. I suspect that inmate Cameron is the driving force behind this extortion case. I'm John Fisher. We're here talking with Adrian Cameron. At some point in time, you got word that inmate Fisher had got caught using your cell phone. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
When he got caught with the cell phone, at any point in time, did you make any threats toward him?
Well, he checked in and then put the police on my phone. He up something and he both gave him the money. That's all.
Okay, that's what happened.
Yeah, plain and simple.
What did you have to pay for the phone?
$400.
Okay. Did you give him permission to use the phone?
No.
He said, now this is my life, you know. He said, if you get caught with it, then you might as well take him.
And he wasn't supposed to have it, and he had got caught with it just plain and simple.
Okay. What's your wife's name?
Frances Cameron.
Frances made some threats to an inmate's family. Now, did you call Frances, your wife, and talk to her about him getting caught with a cell phone?
Yeah.
Now, did you tell her to call his family?
Yeah, I told her, tell them what's up. She just called us, so like, man, y'all gotta pay for that, you know what I'm saying?
Adrian confessed that his wife is making the threatening phone calls. We need to get him locked up in the hole so he's not able to call and warn his wife about our operation. We also just got Cameron's phone back. That's what started all this. So now that the phone is unlocked, hopefully we can gather some evidence off the phone.
We know this phone has made several calls to and received several calls from our subject, Frances Cameron. We've gone through and pulled off some of the images that came up on the cell phone itself. A couple of disturbing things on it. 44 Magnum laid on top of a blue bandana. Since the inmate is a crip, the blue bandana fits. This lends itself to that the threat's coming from more than just her, that she does have some gang support. The longer we string this out, the greater the possibility we leave them at risk. Make a trip up to Portland.
Okay.
Let's talk to Mama again, talk to Kimberly, and let's initiate a phone call from Kimberly to Frances Cameron. See if we can't set up a meeting. And when we do, we'll take them down and make the arrest.
What we're gonna do is we'll call her back and be like, look, I really ain't got this 500, but I'm gonna come up with it. But I'm not putting it on no wire. You tell me where to meet you at, and I'll be there. Okay? Just call her back.
Hello?
Hello.
What is it that you want? You gonna send the $500 on the wire or nothing at all?
I'm not sending no money on the wire.
And guess what? Then we gonna take care of business. That's it. How you gonna tell me what the you finna do?
You want the money, I got the money. If you want it, you're gonna meet me to get it. You want the money, if you want it, you're gonna meet me to get it.
We'll get it out your brother ass.
We'll see about that, honey.
We'll get it out your brother ass. That's all it to it.
Okay. This is she don't want to meet.
I need to shut that down.
Well, what's if she called back? If she don't call you by 12 o'clock tomorrow, you call me and let me know. We might just have to go get her.
It's been 24 hours since we've heard anything from Frances Cameron, since John met with the Fishers. She's married to a Crip. She's likely armed and dangerous. We're not going to wait for them to make their move. Right now, we're going to take things into our own hands. We're going to wire some money via Western Union, wait for Frances Cameron to pick it up, and when she does, we'll be there to arrest her. We're going to wire some money via Western Union, wait for Frances Cameron to pick it up, and when she does, we'll be there to arrest her. I'm calling in Agent Fisher, Scott Miller, and Donna Clark. Donna is going to stay with the inmate's sister, Kimberly Fisher, and her family till this girl's arrested. We've got agents that are going to get eyes on Frances Cameron in just a few minutes at her work. Agent Miller, I want you to ride with John, go up there and sit on that location. Keep eyes on her. If she moves at all, call me. I think that this is not her first rodeo. I think she's done this sort of thing many, many times. Part of the satisfaction that I personally will see out of it is the look on her face when we place her in handcuffs and tell her that she's under arrest. This is a case where the cell phone becomes a deadly tool. And now there's an inmate, his life's in jeopardy. And not only his life, but the life of his sister, his mother, and father. Where's her blazer at?
Right to that white truck to your right behind it.
All right, I'll tell you what, I'll get in that Western Union parking lot.
Yeah, right behind us.
Just on the radio, keep me up to date with what she's doing, all right?
That's her, man. She got that clipboard. She's going to look at that guy's vehicle. Got it right there. She's doing a walkabout. You can see her face?
Look like her. Get that picture out.
She's working.
I saw her smile. Yeah, it's her.
Just an update. The black female that got out the blaze.
Scott positive identified her as our girl.
Okay, thanks.
Locking the door?
Yeah.
1484, she's headed to her car.
They advised me if she leaves that parking lot in which direction she's headed.
10-4, she just started the vehicle.
Vehicle is moving, headed towards the exit of the parking lot.
10-4. She's turning left on Douglas.
She may be coming in.
10-4. I'm gonna pull up here toward the front of the store.
There she is right there.
Where?
Jason, she's right in front of you.
She can walk right in front of you, I believe. Green shirt.
10-4, I saw her. She's at the Western Union counter inside the store. When she comes out, we'll let her get inside her vehicle. We're gonna take her down out here in the parking lot. I'll call that when it happens. Okay?
10-4.
She's at the store now. She's at the Western Union counter.
No ID. I can't give you somebody else, buddy.
Western Union is telling our subject that she has to have ID to pick the money up.
Yeah, she ain't let me have it.
Our subject is on the phone with the victim right now.
She said that it's supposed to be on no ID phone.
It is. I got the receipt right here in front of me. It says no ID.
So what?
Tell them that I got my name and my number, and I'll give it to her if she needs it.
She said somebody has a name and number or whatever. Alright, she let me have it.
10-4, she's walking to her vehicle now. Go.
Go, 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 go.
Get out of the car.
Turn around, fix this. Hands high up, high up.
What I do?
You Frances Cameron?
Yes, I am.
We have a warrant for your arrest.
For what?
For extortion.
Extortion?
Yes, ma'am.
I didn't do anything, sir.
And if you ain't got that money, you, your brother, and your mom and daddy gonna be dealt with.
You have anything else on you besides that cell phone?
No, sir.
Anything else in your pockets?
No, sir.
Anything?
No.
Any weapons in this vehicle?
No.
I just want to advise you of your rights. Before we ask you a question, you must understand your rights. You got the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you in the court of law. Do you understand the rights I read to you? Ma'am? Okay.
Frances Cameron, on her way to jail right now. She may look harmless, but in fact, she's married to a Crip. She's got a criminal record. She's a very, very dangerous person. You know, she represents an element of society that's perhaps the most dangerous. I feel pretty good that she'll be locked away for a few years behind this. Nobody got hurt, our victims are safe, and another threat removed off the street.
There's been some kind of serious incident.
Don't get in debt if you're not ready to suffer the consequences. That's just prison life, period.
Here's some blood, brother. He wouldn't give them the name of who had been threatened. Something about this just doesn't make sense. There's been some kind of serious incident. Medical personnel are really scrambling. My boss, Jerry Lester's at home right now, but I'm gonna give him a call, let him know what's going on. Hey, boss. The inmate's already been brought out on the stretcher now. Hey, guys, how bad is it?
Stuck back right there.
How many times?
So far, it's still in him.
Okay. Oh, the knife is actually still in him. They're on their way to the clinic with him right now. I'm fixing to head in there with him, take a look.
Hey, Derek, can I get some IV stuff? We got some scissors. Cut that shirt off.
Lee Mayhew.
Lee Mayhew.
Earlier today that I need to check in, and they told me to give them a name, and I didn't want to give them a name. Then I wrote a piece of paper. Oh!
Well, stay still. I gotta get this off. Got a blood pressure of 92 over 38.
Listen to me, just don't listen to nobody else, okay? Okay, who's still? Travis who? Travis and Cherry.
Hey, look at me. Stay with me, okay? Don't go to sleep on me, okay?
Boss, the inmate's name is Lee Mayhew. The homemade knife looks like it's made out of something like a hanger or some kind of wire. I can't really tell because it's still in the stomach. I talked to him and he claimed that he tried to check into protective custody today. He gave me two names. It's hard to tell at this point if he's being deceptive in any way because he is under the influence of some medication. But at this time, it's really hard to make a call on it without further investigation. All right, boss. Bye.
Lay your head back.
You have to worry about a snowball effect. If one person gets hurt, chances are they're looking to retaliate, and it just continues to escalate. About to begin an investigation, find out what happened, why it happened, and rectify the situation before it gets out of hand.
I call Joe England my minute man because no matter when I call him, he'll say, "Be ready in just a minute, boss." Joe was in law enforcement for many years prior to coming to us. He was the lead investigator in the county that we found him in. His knowledge and experience are just priceless.
talk to institutional investigator Lieutenant David Abel. He usually knows more than anyone else what's going on this compound. Hoping he can give me some information on my victim and the 2 inmates he alleged stabbed him. But it could go a completely different direction. In a prison, dealing with inmates, you never know what's going to happen. Morning, Lieutenant.
Hey, Joe. How's it going?
All right.
Doing all right?
Yes, sir. Been working on the stab?
Yes, Lee Mayhew. He's the victim. Looks like he's in here for aggravated burglary, evading arrest and such. We have 2 Aryans secured that may have had something to do with it. Travis Troll, he's in for attempted first-degree murder, assault. Then we have Robert McClure, in for second-degree murder. One of them is showing Brotherhood Forever, and the other one's showing Aryan Nation, but that's easily,
it's easily interchangeable.
Right. Either way, they're both showing white supremacies.
They've been very active lately?
Actually, yes. They've been doing a lot of recruiting, all the white supremacist groups. We have had an increase in our white population, and so that has given them more opportunity.
You got to realize, we bring in some of the craziest white guys that there are.
Well, I think we should kill all and blame it on the Jews because that way all blacks will be dead and send all Jews to prison. We don't believe in mixing with anything outside the white race, no nationalities whatsoever. And I live by that belief every day of my life. And I go to bed, I'm hating somebody. It don't matter if they're Mexican, black. If you're gonna go to war because of what I believe, then that's what we'll do.
Could be a number of different things with these Aryans and Brotherhood involved. Ready to get started?
Okay, I'm ready.
All right. The first thing we want to do is interview all the officers that were involved, which at this point was only one officer. Her name's Officer Molina. We're going to talk to her. She's going to provide the most accurate account of what went on to the best of her knowledge. Let me get your full name, please.
Misty Michelle Molina.
Were you the one that found out he was stabbed?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How'd you find out he was stabbed?
They called count time for 9:15, and I was going around shutting all the cell doors to get the inmates to go in, and when I made it to cell 64, the inmate knocked on his door and got my attention and told me that he had been stabbed.
Did this inmate ask you about going to protective custody?
Yes, sir. When we went around for 4:30 count, he did have a letter stuck in the door.
Earlier today that I need to check in, then I wrote a piece of paper.
What'd the paper say?
That he feared for his life. He owed a couple of inmates $400-something.
I'd be hard pressed to jump to any kind of conclusion, but anytime you have a prison debt, someone can get killed very easily. Drugs, food items, clothing are all very valuable in prison. Value leads to debt, and debt leads to violence. So he was still in the cell, still not locked. He locked himself in and actually had to tell you, I've been stabbed.
Yes, sir.
Was this inmate locked in his cell all day or what?
Since the 4:30 count.
Did you see anybody coming from his cell or come out of his cell or anything like that?
No, sir. There were people that kept going to his door trying to get in, and he wouldn't let them in.
Okay.
I never saw the door open, which I didn't watch it the whole time, but the time I could, I did. The story that he come up with didn't make sense to me.
Okay. Lena says Mayhew's door's been closed and locked all night. So how did the Aryans get in? Something about this just doesn't make sense.
Last night, we had an inmate stuck. There was a wire sticking out of his chest. The victim is Lee Mayhew.
He alleged that 2 white supremacists came into his cell and stabbed him because he owed money for probably either drugs or tobacco. However, there seems to be a conflicting story. There was only one officer on duty. She let us know that this inmate pretty much locked himself in his room, would let no one in. Then when she went around to lock everyone up for the night, he told her, I've been stabbed, and he has a prison-made knife sticking out his chest. So how did the Aryans get in if the door's closed and locked? Something about this just doesn't make sense. Right now we're going to go interview the two suspects. Mayhew pointed out Travis Troll and Robert McClure, who also goes by Chatterbob, as being involved in the stabbing. Not clear really right now who done what. We just have to wait and see when we get in there. We don't know really what we're dealing with yet. Must be Mr. Troll.
Yes,
Are you affiliated with anybody?
yeah.
Aryan, confirmed.
Yes.
Right. This guy here, Mayhew, did about 9:15 last night. He got stuck in the stomach with a shank.
Right.
Still hanging in his stomach. Matter of fact. Was you involved in any way?
No.
Did McClure, as far as you know, have anything at all to do with it? Well, where were you when about 9:15 Rizé's calling lockdown?
I was in the cell with Mr. McClure.
Mayhew wants y'all out as being involved. He claims he owed money and didn't pay up, couldn't get into PC. About that.
I mean, that doesn't even make sense. We're both from a different affiliation.
Yeah,
By no means do we go by the same shots being called.
Troll denied doing anything at all, said he didn't know why he was being accused, wouldn't accept any debt that was owed to him, anything like that. He just pretty much denied. It's hard to tell at this point if he's lying or not. These are people that will not tell you anything. It would be so easy to get hateful and mad at somebody where you have to keep your calm and treat them with kid gloves to get them to tell you something. Now we're going to be talking to inmate Robert McClure and seeing his side of the story, seeing if what he tells us matches up with anything that Troll told us. Mr. McClure, yes?
Yes, sir.
My name's Joe England. I'm a special agent with Internal Affairs. Who's the other guy they had locked up last night?
Travis.
He with you on Brotherhood?
No.
All right, he just a friend of yours, that's it? Yeah. And where was you at when dude got stuck?
Was in my cell last night.
About lockdown time?
Yeah, about lockdown time.
Was you and him hanging out together, talking, bull jiving last night?
Yeah.
We hear that Mayhew did owe Brotherhood some money, and he claimed that y'all come after him over the money. Do you know anything about what happened to him, bro?
As far as I know, he's saying that me and some other people stuck on whatnot. It didn't happen. That man stood himself for 6 hours yesterday, and nobody got in there and out. So I don't know how the hell we supposed to get in there and do what's supposed to be done.
Did you do it or did you not, you know? Well, we've interviewed the two suspects, Troll and McClure, and apparently the stories they're telling are practically the same story, which they could have very easily cooperated before they were locked up. After a while, you get used to not getting everything you want. You know, when you're dealing with inmates, they're not going to tell you everything, especially when you're dealing with gang members. They tend to be more elusive in questioning. If we don't come to a conclusion on this quickly, there's always a chance that someone can be hurt, especially Mr. Mayhew, the inmate that was stabbed. You know, his life can be in danger no matter where he goes. Members of the Aryan Nation are not only in this compound or in that housing unit, they're in others. Word travels. Regardless if he's an inmate or not, he has still got the right to be as safe as possible.
To request protective custody, he has to give us a reason. It cannot be just because.
I was robbed on the main compound. I had to come up here. Scared. It's just his prison.
Bloods, G's, dope deal that went bad, and I had to give some information up, and then I guess they figured out who did it, and they put contracts out on me statewide. I can't go anywhere.
Not a lot of inmates like it in protective custody, but they look at it as, well, it's either this or death.
We're going to Housing Unit 14 to just look around, see if we can get a feel for what really did go on in this cell.
This housing at 14, cell 64. This is where inmate Mayhew was living.
The cell he claims to have been stabbed in. Specifically, we're looking for anything that could have been turned into a weapon. We're looking for blood, just anything to indicate that a stabbing did occur in this cell. Here's some blood, brother. This rag on the sink appears to have blood all over it, and it's a wet rag, so it's recently been run underwater. What are you hearing?
I'm standing outside the door. The idiot stabbed himself. I watched him stab himself.
We just finished searching cell 64 here in Unit 14, which is where the stabbing occurred. I had one inmate come forward and say he actually saw him stick himself.
The idiot stabbed himself. I watched him stab himself. It's a promise. Hell, he wouldn't come out. He was stuck in here from 3 o'clock yesterday. At count time, the police came up here and everything, and he told them he wanted a PC because he owed money. He had a toothbrush jammed in the door. He was so scared. I go, look up wire. That's what he was sharpening in the door last night.
Like a piece of fence wire?
Yeah. There's a brown piece of wire, as a matter of fact, and it curled up because he had to straighten it out. Them boys didn't do that, though. Now, he's safe.
He wasn't in danger before, he is now.
Yeah, he is now. Just a stupid move on a drug addict's part. Got him dead, scared to come out. And he come to drastic measures there last night. He just lifted up his fat right here and said, pfft. But, you know, you could put the reason in why you'd rather stab yourself than have somebody else stab you. You're going to have a little mercy on yourself. You're just going to poke a little hole in yourself.
When an inmate would resort to stabbing himself just to get away from someone else stabbing him, that says a lot for one, his fear level, and two, what was his mental state when he done it? What was he thinking? And at the point that it looks, he was thinking, well, I can't get into protective custody any other way. If I stab myself, that's a surefire way to get out of here. Inmate Mayhew is recovering from his injuries at our special needs facility. My boss, Jerry Lester, is going to interrogate him, see if he'll fess up to stabbing himself. Hopefully, we can bring an end to this crazy case with a solid confession.
Inmate Mayhew at this time is housed in the acute mental health treatment unit. Unit 7C is well known throughout the department. These inmates suffer from medical conditions. They have behavioral problems. They're a danger not only to others, but to themselves as well. Okay, thank you. Mr. Mayhew, I'm actually the director of the Internal Affairs Unit. I think you met one of my guys, Joe England, and that was after an incident in which you alleged you'd been stabbed in the stomach by a couple of Aryans, right?
Brotherhood and Aaron, because I owed him some money. Fell through, you know what I'm saying? When you gonna pay his money? I said, well, I don't know when I'm gonna be able to get it, man. They gonna kill me, man. I mean, there's a hit out for me, for the Brotherhood and the Nation.
Just over $450.
If a man, they want their money, they want their money, you know what I'm saying? If I can't pay it, they gotta have something.
I tell you what, I know a little bit about what was going on out there. I know the story that you gave my guy. I understand why you told him that. Okay, we get in a desperate situation, and you felt like you had to get somewhere, right? Now, I can keep you safe, but you've got to be honest with me. So tell me, Lee, what happened to your son?
Well, to tell you the truth, they didn't really stab me, but they was going to, you know what I'm saying?
And so you stuck that in yourself, right? Did you want to die?
No, I didn't want to die. I just want to get some help.
Okay. I assure you we're going to find a place where you're going to be safe. I appreciate your time. I thank you for talking to me, and I thank you for being honest. Inmate Mayhew admitted, just as we suspected, that he had stabbed himself the night of the incident. He owed Arians for a drug debt that he couldn't pay, had no way to pay it. They were coming to collect, so he stabbed himself so that he could remove himself from that area before they actually killed him.
It's hard for me to understand any inmate willing to hurt himself. We've had inmates that have almost killed themselves from being told that they're going to be released from protected custody back to the compound. It's hard for me to understand fear to that point.
And here you gotta make good choices or you're gonna duck. Drugs will get you sometimes. Now they gonna have no choice but to protect. And that's what he was up to. So now he's guaranteed protection.
Basically, he's going to get what he wants. He just had a painful and long, hard road doing it.
Strip search him.
There's his cell phone.
How he gets them, I don't know.
Not one visitation goes by that somebody doesn't smuggle something in. He reaches into her hoodie and pulls the drugs out. We're going to head off this problem at the front gate. Today we're looking for ammunition, weapons, alcohol.
Something into the car.
We have ecstasy. She been muling stuff into the prison? No. Take him to the hole.
You please get them out my cell. Why does a man have to put up with these boys?
Down, Pop.
I won't sit down for nobody.
Here we go, here we go, here we go. Yep.
We just found a cell phone in cell, one of our most dangerous and notorious inmates at this facility. He is a leader of the Aryan Nation, and he has certain members under his control. An inmate like that with possession of a cell phone can run his criminal enterprises from the comfort of his cell all day long.
Nikki Jordan has a way with those inmates.
Understand you're racketeering pretty heavy down here. You're gonna wish that you and I have never met if you've lied to me. I learned a long time ago, if you want to be successful in this job, you got to play the same game they play. We're going to give you an investigation, 7 days. You got to get on the same level. Go ahead and get naked for me. You got to know their games, their techniques. Is that your charger or his charger? Okay, it's both of y'all's. That's 180 days apiece. He's keistered it. Stuck it up his rectum. I can't go up there and get it. Warden Fortner, it's Nikki Jordan. Guess whose phone we just found? Does it bother you as much as it bothers me that the Aryan Nation's getting rollover minutes? Okay. With your permission, I'd like to get the Tennessee Highway Patrol and some search dogs down here right away. Let's go on the offense for a change. Thank you. A cell phone is just one example of an object that can be smuggled in that can cause devastating effects on this compound. 99% of all contraband that's smuggled into this facility comes through this visitation area. Every weekend, hundreds of visitors pass through here to visit with inmates. A lot of them are loaded down with weapons, drugs, tobacco, and other illegal items in the prison system. It's a very lucrative business for these type people. Not all of our visitors are dirty, but a lot of them are. These inmates, they come up with clever ways of doing things. One instance here, we've got a female that's visiting with her loved one, and she's went to the restroom and removed an insertion pellet that contains narcotics and came out and placed it in her hoodie. And he reaches into her hoodie and pulls the drugs out and tries to conceal those. And it's all on video. Here's the pellet. I'd say not one visitation goes by that somebody doesn't smuggle something in. Today's Sunday. Some people go to church on Sunday. Other people come to a prison to visit with inmates. What those people do not realize today is that we're going to have a surprise vehicle search. We're going to head off this problem at the front gate. Today, we're going to stop people coming into the prison. And we're looking for ammunition, weapons, alcohol, anything that you know is contraband will be coming in. Today, to look in that car just a little bit harder, happy hunting.
Here you go, Nick.
I got a real
It looks like a stunner of some sort.
Yeah, it is.
Well, it's got electrodes. Looks like the...
Set it up there.
I know what that is.
It's not my car.
Oh. Not your car.
Well, thanks, stun gun.
Good. Stun gun. I'm going to consider that a weapon. Deny her for carrying a weapon on state property and it being the stun gun.
This was insertion pellet.
Some woman wanted me to bring it to them, and I told them that I wasn't going to do it. And I just had so much to do, and I just wanted to throw it, and I didn't have time to.
What's in here?
Tobacco.
Tobacco? We're going to deny your visits today, and, you know, introducing this right here.
Yeah.
This right here will get a man killed just as quick as dope. You do understand if this had been narcotics, that you'd be going to the Hickman County Jail right now, and it's a felony?
Yeah.
How much did they pay you to bring it in?
Nothing. That's the reason why I wasn't doing it.
But you did it.
He wrote a letter to me telling me to do it, and I would never do it.
Let's make a little money, and then we'll lay back. Maybe I'll make sure you get your money.
And I didn't never.
Baby, I give you my word.
And I didn't never do it. That's the reason why he got that girl.
He gave you his word, now you're standing out here in the parking lot.
In trouble.
In trouble. That's why they call them cons.
Never do it.
You know, that's why they call them cons.
Yeah.
An inmate will do anything he can to exploit a relationship, be it a wife, a girlfriend, a homeboy, or somebody he's met online. I've seen it too many times. I mean, I've been to court, I've watched these people get picked up, arrested. The sad part of it is once they do all this stuff for them and get themselves put in jail, that inmate's not there to bail them out. Man, somebody's cell phone keeps ringing and ringing. Who'd you say you was here to see? Who? What unit does he live in? Okay. Go find. I think he's in unit. See if he's got a cell phone. That daggone phone keeps ringing. That phone right there has got 2 missed phone calls that's going on right now as we speak. Gives me the appearance that the inmate's on the compound calling, wanting to know where she's at. We're gonna have to hit this guy's cell right now for that cell phone. If he's got one, he's a handful. I recognize his name. We're gonna take it from him by force.
You ready?
Get out of the way.
Take him down.
99% of all contraband that's smuggled into this facility comes through this visitation area. We're looking for ammunition, weapons, alcohol. We're gonna have a surprise vehicle search, and that's how we're gonna catch them. Man, somebody's cell phone keeps ringing and ringing. We're gonna have to hit this guy's cell right now for that cell phone.
Go to the wall.
Do not move. Do not move. No, he got my hand.
Take him down.
Whoever, do not resist. Do what y'all want. Do what y'all want to do to me.
While he is down, strip search him.
Put your arm down.
Don't put him on.
Turn over. Spread your legs. Turn, you want to search your legs. Spread your legs, please. 1, 2, 3. Come on, put your feet underneath you.
Y'all, yo. Go on. Y'all think I'm just talking, don't you? I told her about mama's grave, boy, I'm gonna have all you. I know y'all think I'm just talking.
That was actually the underwear he had on, so that's why he didn't want a strip search.
Bingo.
There's his charger for his cell phone. There's his cell phone.
There you go.
The last 4 times we've actually searched his cell, he's had a cell phone. He had 2 the last time, actually. How he gets them, I don't know.
Got him.
All right, that's what I like to hear. That's 1 cell phone down. Unfortunately, for that one that we found, there's probably another 50 that we don't even know about. Look at all these cars out here. We're just getting started.
Another one in here?
I got hers. It's plugged up.
One broke and one my mama.
Here you go, Nicky.
Yeah.
Another blue Samsung.
Could I kind of ask why you got 5 cell phones?
Okay, this one broke. Yesterday I went to go get me another one.
Uh-huh.
This one. 2 of them was for graduation present. These are broke.
These cell phones here are a felony. They're not a misdemeanor.
They mad.
I understand. What I'm saying is if we catch somebody bringing them in.
No, I wasn't there. This one right here is dead. This is going to my stepdaughter that graduates Tuesday from school.
Okay.
Okay. I understand what you're saying.
Right.
I'm not the
but
one.
do you understand my suspicions when somebody's got 5 phones?
I mean, I see what you're saying, but I mean, I got receipts.
Well,
no, this is Saturday. Why the hell would you activate 2 phones on the same damn day with 1 person?
Because you're real popular. Yeah, there's someone messaging or texting her off that phone. Probably from inside.
The girl that had all the cell phones in the car. The guy she was coming to see has got a phone in his cell because he sent her a picture of himself the other day. From
really?
Here.
Did you say you was here to see? We just had a female busted in the parking lot with 5 cell phones. There was a text message and picture of on there. Mr. been on my radar screen for a while now. He's involved in some sort of major activity in the prison system, whether it's just cell phones or something bigger. We're gonna search his cell, and I'm fixing to have a little talk with Mr. to see what I can find out. Why would your visitor have 5 cell phones on her?
Cell phones? You know, I don't know.
You don't know why she would have 5 cell phones? 3 of them brand new?
I don't know.
She been muling stuff into the prison?
No.
What you know about a cell phone?
I don't know nothing about no cell phone.
Don't know nothing about a cell phone. So if I've been looking at a cell phone that's in her possession with a picture of you that's been texted from down here in this compound, what am I looking at?
You looking at me?
So you text her a picture of yourself?
Nah. You might have seen the picture, you know, somewhere else.
No, I'm looking at you in a cell down here. Is that true?
You might.
So the picture is you.
Yeah, it might be me.
Ain't no might to it. Either it is or it ain't.
Yeah, it's me.
Okay. And you sent that to her with a cell phone?
Nah, I didn't send it.
Somebody else
might have sent it.
They snapped your picture with a cell phone and sent it to them. But you don't know anything about this?
No, sir. I don't know.
Unfortunately, we didn't find anything in inmate cell today. We talked to him about the photograph that was supposedly texted to him. He denied anything about it. We can't find the phone, so it's going to be hard to tie the two together. Today, we've got a lot more cars to search, so we're going to move on.
The car pulling down the hill now. The subject that was walking handed something into the car.
It said that the people that were walking reached over and put something into the car coming down the hill.
That's from which car?
Which car? Black car, white car?
Black one.
A lot of times, this is the one we're waiting on. You just don't know.
Bring your purse with you if you have one.
We need to check this car very good. She stopped her vehicle up there. She didn't want to come down here. She's leaning over, shuffling, and it's very suspicious. What have you got there?
What I was trying to figure out. Here comes
What?
Vitamins. Those are for my little girl.
Ma'am, I'm going to ask you. I'm gonna ask you real simple because I'm fixing to drug test these, and they appear to be ecstasy to me. Is that what it is?
I really don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know what ecstasy looks like.
A while ago, it was vitamins for your child. You was pretty sure that that's what it was.
My sister let me use her purse.
Your sister let you use her purse?
Yeah, I don't. That's her purse.
I mean, wouldn't you kind of say that's kind of unusual there for a child?
Yeah, it is. You're right.
Who are you here to see? Man, this just gets better and better. Who are you here to see?
I would never,
I've got an issue with this right now, but I'm gonna do a little testing on it, and we're gonna determine what we're gonna do at that point. Hey, Christina, I need a field test for ecstasy. Yeah, we have ecstasy. Where did you get these narcotics at?
if they were in that purse, then they had to be in that purse when she gave it to me. And I just
Let me get this straight. You're in possession of this purse, though, right?
Sir.
You're the only person driving this car.
That's true.
And they got those narcotics out of that purse that you're carrying.
Yes, sir, that's true.
Okay, but you don't want to tell me where they come from or anything like that?
They do not belong to me. I promise you that. I would not be.
But let me ask you this.
Okay.
Were they found in that purse? Are you carrying that purse?
Yes.
Are you on state property right now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. If you'll take her into custody, I'll be over and sign a complaint for introduction of drugs into a penal facility.
I really didn't do that on purpose, sir. I really didn't. That would be so ignorant, and I'm so.
41 hits. Package for introduction. We're going to have her arrested, transported to the county jail. That's a good lick. This just gets better and better. I'd like to see how Mr. explain this one. You're popular with the ladies today. Is there anyone else coming to visit you I should know about?
No, sir.
Do you know Noel Lee Patty?
Yes, I'm on visitation list, yes.
How's that person related to you?
Friend.
Miss Patty was caught with 40-some-odd ecstasy pills, introducing them into the prison system today. She's in the Hickman County Jail. You know anything about this?
Yes, sir.
How long have you known her?
I don't even know. You have to check my visitation list.
You don't know her?
Friend.
Okay. How long has she been your friend?
You have to check on the visitation list. It's been some months.
How many times she come to see you?
She came to see me a lot.
Okay. How did you meet her?
Somebody in here. I don't even know him really. I don't know nobody in this penitentiary.
So somebody just said, hey, I got
I
this
got a
girl.
girl for you. Started talking to her, started writing, you know, hey, she started coming to see me.
You know, a lot of times that's how mules gets hooked up. She been muling stuff into the prison?
No.
She's under a $50,000 bond. You gotta think how she's feeling right now. She's in a $50,000 bond.
I don't know what's going on, I just know what
And she don't either. Because if she sit there and she wants to tell me about all this stuff of how she don't really know you.
She might know me now. She might have a relationship. You know, that's like if I don't know you, we talking and we get to talking, you know.
She gonna tell me about this car she's driving, about how she
I don't know what she
really
gonna say. I'm not a psychic. I don't know what she gonna say to you, man.
I know this much. She ain't gonna be too kind to some folks, I promise you. I've done this too many times. I see these young girls that these people recruit to bring drugs in here over and over. They're not real kind when them people are over there being promised, hey, if you ever get caught, I got a man on the street gonna bail you out, and they never show up. Now, she's been sitting in that jail right now probably 3 to 4 hours. I'd say she's pretty hot right now. I'd say them wheels in her head are spinning real good about this time, wouldn't you?
You know, hey.
So what I'm gonna give you is the opportunity to lay the game out to me, because if she lays the game out to me, I'm not gonna come back and say, she told me this. I'm gonna play he said, she said. I'm gonna roll with what she tells me. And she tells me that involved in a ring here, that involved in a ring, and me and you ain't talking no more about it.
Okay.
So if you want to tell me, hey man, look, I'm just in the middle of dude over here.
I'm not in the middle of that. I don't know what's going on.
Is somebody else got her bringing stuff in here?
I hope not. Not a lot. I don't know nothing about it.
Right now, you tell me you don't know nothing about dope.
I don't.
She tells me you know something about dope. It's on you then. Fair enough?
I don't know nothing, you know, what you said.
Okay. All right, that's where we're at. He's good at covering his tracks, but he's a bad liar. We'll eventually get him. It might not be today, but today's all about catching the smugglers, and we're having a rousing success at that. The sad part of it is I meet a lot of young females that's been talked into bringing stuff into the prison system, and they tell them that if you get caught, nothing's going to happen to you. And then there's nobody there once they get caught to bail them out. They find out they've been conned. And, you know, that's pretty sad when you sit there and you're looking at somebody and you know they've got themselves into a jam, and it tears on you sometimes when you're talking to these people.
We definitely have a breach in our security with the influx of drugs coming into the institution. We received information from a confidential informant that an inmate's wife has been bringing drugs into the institution on a regular basis. And I'm sure the inmates got eyes and ears all over the visitation area. So I'm gonna go in and work undercover today as a correction officer. I haven't worn this uniform in 4.5 years. We're expecting this lady today. I don't want to do nothing that we don't normally do. I try to be out the way. I've been trying to blend in without a whole lot of folks knowing. Sound like a plan?
John Fisher, he can be intimidating.
I'm too big to be lying about stuff. I love working drugs. See that towel halfway up over there?
John Fisher is very streetwise.
Grew up in the streets. I haven't actually done prison time, but my first 12 years, I was working 16-hour shifts, 6-7 days a week. Felt like I was doing time. Yeah, that's her right here. There you go. There he is. We've identified the female subject and inmate. These things typically happen early on during the visitation while everyone's busy. It don't look like it's been done yet, so right now it's just a waiting game. Well, this is a scary time in our prisons.
Plenty of drugs, right? I smoked one this morning.
We're seeing an extremely high number of positive drug tests amongst our inmate population.
No more than 5. Everybody else have a seat.
This is the most drugs I've ever seen on the compound.
It could be a small package of drugs.
We turn this place upside down constantly. And some kind of way, it just keep getting by us.
You got a white powder.
Hypodermic needle. We're here 24 hours, man. They only here 8 hours, so we're thinking all the time.
Cigarettes, weed, cocaine, morphine. It's like the streets, whatever you want, it's on the market.
There's clearly a major breach in our security with all the drugs coming in. And when the prison is insecure, I mean, that's when folks get hurt. Hold on, man. She's going to the bathroom now. Typically, these women hide stuff up in the vaginal cavity and then go to the restroom to take it out. Now we're starting to get to the nitty-gritty. There she is, right there. See how fast she went in there? She didn't have time to pee. She went in and came right back out. Just happened. I think we got him. Let's shake him down. Let me out. Call my sergeant.
A dry cell is an area that has no running water. If an inmate swallows something he's not supposed to have, he's eventually going to pass that.
I just got a call from Nikki, and apparently we haven't got anything from the dry cell that we got an inmate in. False alarm. There might have been a false alarm. The inmates have found a weakness in our security, and they're exploiting it. And it's killing us. For the safety of our staff, it has to stop. I'm ready to go on the offensive now. Nick is assembling a team, and we're gonna hit that cell block, and we're gonna hit it hard.
We received some good intelligence that there's been some narcotics and cellular telephones introduced into the prison. We're going to hit some of these cells and try to ascertain where it came from. We're going to talk to some inmates and shake the tree and see what falls out.
Nikki Jordan.
Which one's the blood? That one with the 5-pointed star on his hand?
In-house investigator, you're not there to make friends. You're not gonna make friends. Everybody hates you.
These dudes, Nikki Jordan. That, man, this is bull.
You busting everybody doing something wrong, so it makes you out to be the bad guy.
If you act up in here, if you sell drugs, stab people, you end up in jail. We call it high security, though.
Come on, get up. Come on, let's go.
No, you ain't putting nothing on. Get out there. Let's go.
Out of here. Out the door. You two, out the door.
Bingo. Cell phone. Feels like a charger. This guy right here, he likes to hide his stuff inside liquids.
There's your crack. There's your rocks.
Looks like we've hit the jackpot tonight. We've got 3 cell phones, about 8 grams of marijuana, 8 ball of cocaine. We're not through yet. We're fixing to round the guys up that had all this stuff hid. We're gonna see if we can shake them a little bit and get some information for Agent Fisher.
What can you tell me about what we found in your cell today?
Can't tell you nothing.
Nothing.
No, sir.
You got no idea what I'm talking about.
It is what it is.
Look, here's the deal. This basically go one of 2 ways. Either you can be cooperative and we try to get it taken care of, or you can stick to this dumb roll and not say nothing.
I'm not involved with this here. I can't do nothing.
I mean, it's the usual, deny, deny, deny. I swear, you can catch an inmate with a syringe in his arm and he'll still swear up and down it ain't his. Hopefully, we can try to find somebody else and maybe somebody give us some information. I'm John Fisher with Internal Affairs, and the reason I'm here today is because Officer Jordan found 8 ball of cocaine in your cell today. I'm not really interested in you. I'm looking for the bigger fish. I need to know how you getting the drugs in.
All right, that's a real hard deal there, man. I'm already locked up, and now I'll be labeled as a snitch.
How much more time you gotta do?
Probably about 5 more years.
I really need for you to help me out here. You know, I can't make you no promises, but if you help me out, I may be able to get you into the PC program.
I need your word that, you're gonna get me out of here, staying right here and being labeled as a snitch, it's a serious situation.
I got you.
Could get a man killed.
I understand, I'm with you. If you cooperate, then you got my word that I get you out of here to another facility and get you on protective custody. So help me out a little bit.
Well, man, this guy, man, he's right up on you. He's one of your people, he's been around a while.
You saying he's an officer?
Of course.
Drugs are just flowing into the prison right now, and we haven't been able to find out the source. When drugs are coming in like that, it's a major breach in our security, and it jeopardizes the livelihood of all our staff. And now I found out that it's possible staff might be involved.
Well, man, this guy, man, he's right up on you. He's one of your people.
You saying he's an officer?
Of course.
Now, that's some serious accusations. You saying that an officer won't bring any drugs in.
That's why I'm trying to get you to understand, for me to be in a situation like this, to reveal a name or to tell you anything, could get a man killed.
I got you.
Situation.
And look, you got my word that I'm gonna get you up out of here. Now tell me who this officer is.
Man, his name is Ward. He works second shift down there on Unit 1.
Ward. And how's he getting this stuff in?
The word is, he's bringing it in his food and his lunch. I understand he got some connection with some girl on the street who's paying him to bring drugs into the prison.
Correction Officer Kenneth Ward is our main suspect in this case. He's a real threat, so we got to get on him quick. I'm on my way to see Sergeant Valerie Hampton. She has an inmate who is willing to cooperate with us to help prove that Officer Ward is smuggling drugs into the prison.
I've got an inmate. He has received about 5 or 6 cell phones. He has sent information up that he's ready to tell where these cell phones are coming from, that they're coming from staff members, and how he's getting them in.
Yeah, is he getting just cell phones, or is he getting
cell phone and drugs? He has wrote a letter. Basically, he's wrote one to me, and he's wrote one to the warden, and he's wanting to make a deal.
What caused him to make a deal?
He had another cell phone caught on him again.
Okay.
Okay, he's just recently had a cell phone caught on him.
Okay.
And he's trying to get out of prison.
Okay.
Now, all of a sudden, he wants to tell how he's getting his cell phones and drugs in.
Can folks hear us outside?
No, not if we're not talking loud.
Okay. Did he tell you who the staff was?
Yes, he's given me who the staff, he didn't give it to me on the first meeting.
Okay.
He wrote a letter.
Okay.
The staff is Kenneth Ward.
Oh, my goodness.
He's an officer that's been here about 1.5 years,
Yeah,
maybe
I know
2.
Kenneth Ward. All right, Sarge, well, I'm gonna go ahead and get on top of this right quick. I'm gonna go interview the inmate right now. I'm not gonna even wait on him. I'm John Fisher, I'm a Special Agent with Internal Affairs, and I'm here today to talk to you about the information that you shot to us a couple of days ago. So basically, I need to talk to you and just put a bird in your ear about what we need to do. So what can you tell me about Ward?
On Ward ever since last summer. He brought weed, he brought phones. He brought me my phone that was in.
How was you getting him the money?
And we give it to him. Sometimes it would meet him and give it to him, or I would put it on Western Union on the bar black. Ward came to me. Ward was like, he gave me a note, living on my door. 154 phone, 154 MP3 player.
What about for the marijuana?
It depends. It was an ounce, it was under an ounce, $50. Anything over an ounce, be like 100.
What we're gonna do is I'm gonna give you a phone number. That's to a gal out on the street. She works for me. Her name is Maria. So what I need for you to do is get that number to Ward and have Ward to get at Maria on the street. And just tell her, man, look, holler at my gal Maria, she cool. She the bomb, she'll do whatever. He's gonna give Ward an undercover phone number. And Special Agent Donna Clark is gonna be working in the undercover capacity, posing as Maria, which is the inmate's contact on the street. Ward is gonna get the drugs from Donna, posing as Maria, and as soon as they do the exchange, then we're gonna effect an arrest.
Hello?
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, good. How are you?
All right. Any way you can get up?
Yeah, I can. What were you thinking?
About what time would be good for you?
Well, usually I close up at about 7, takes me about 15 minutes, and then it'll probably take me about 20, 30 to get there. So we're probably talking about 7:45 or 8. Is that going to be cool with you?
Should be. I can get a call back at that time to make sure my wife still asleep, because she worked Thursday or something.
Oh, does she?
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
All right. Bye.
All right.
Agent Clark just got the call from Ward, and she's gonna meet him at 8 p.m. tonight. This guy's known to have a weapon, so we're gonna treat him as if he's armed and dangerous. And if he get out of line, then we're gonna take him down. My subject is Kenneth Ward. He's a correctional officer at River Bend. He's allegedly been bringing in marijuana, cell phones, cocaine on a regular basis to inmates. Kenneth Ward is a black male, approximately 5'9", 235. He's a pretty solid boy, just so you know. Donna will be working as the UC. She has already been in contact. Where we're going to be at is over in the shopping area.
It looks like it's basically just 2 ways in. This small access road, he'll have to come through one of these, in which case he'll pass right by me.
Right, exactly. Ward has a carry permit. He's known to be armed. The key thing is just control your muzzle. The closest hospital is St. Thomas. Hopefully we won't need that.
Today is Wednesday, September the 16th, 2009. It's approximately 1927. This is Special Agent Donna Clark, working undercover, stationed at the off of Charlotte Avenue in Nashville, Davidson County, Tennessee. Can you hear me?
Got you. Not longer now, big dog. On my birthday. I'm supposed to be drinking Crown Royal and smoking a cigar.
Yeah, I'm at the... You pulling up now? Pulling into are you the one pulling into a parking space?
Okay, he's pulled in right in front of the store. Looks like he shut it off.
Okay. He's parked out, coming out to the left. To the left.
When you come out, he's parked outside to the left. You hear?
Hi.
Yeah.
Good, how are you?
She's talking to him now.
Alright. I wanna hop in. Shoot. No, it ain't gonna be long. Alright? I mean, we ain't got nothing else to discuss, right? Alright, well, I just...
Tell her.
Okay. Well, thanks a lot. I'm gonna take... Yeah, I gotta go home and cook some fish for my
Okay, we come around, we come around, we come around.
Go, go, go.
Put your hands where I can see him. Put your hands where I can see him right now. Get out of the car. Get out of the car. Now, come out.
Now, undo that seatbelt. Undo your seatbelt.
Get on the ground.
Get on the ground.
Get on the ground.
Put your hands out. Put your hands out where I can see him, right there. Don't you move. You got any weapons, anything on you that I need to know about? I can't hear you.
No. I'm gonna roll y'all to the side. All right. Pull your legs up front. I'm gonna set you on your butt. Okay? 1, 2,
clear. Get clear? All right. Whoa, look here. I'm gonna adjust these cuffs for you, all right? But don't you buck or none of that, all right?
You familiar with who we are?
Yeah, I know.
And you know what we do, right?
Yes, sir. Yes,
You're under arrest for conspiracy to introduce illegal narcotics into my institution.
There's always just an adrenaline rush of, you know, hoping that everything goes according to plan, and most things don't, and what happens, you know, worst case scenario.
This is Special Agent Donna Clark. We've effected the arrest.
We can't be lying to each other. I already know the answer to all the questions I'm asking you. And I'm just saying if you're gonna be honest with me or not. How many times have you done that before?
2.
How did you take it into the prison?
Under my sack.
Okay, when you say your sack, you mean your testicles?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. It's just a bad situation, dude. You know, I hate really that, especially when we got families at home, man, because, you know, that's what we really hurt, is our families. And you got that son, and your wife just got a new job, and that makes it rough, man. How old are you? 22 years old. It got to be a better life for us, man. Somewhere, somehow, got to be a better life.
It's never encouraging to see, you know, anybody conspire to take narcotics into a facility. However, since it went down as planned and nobody got hurt, we can call it nothing but successful, and I'm very pleased.
I'm easily disappointed, not just with the subject that we arrested tonight. I wore the uniform for 12, 13 years. Anytime you have staff that smuggles in drugs or what have you, they jeopardize lives. No, you have to prosecute these guys in order to send a message. In this situation, we arrest a guy, we prosecute him to the fullest, and it sends a message out to other staff that if you're dirty, if you are smuggling in drugs, contraband, cell phones, tobacco, what have you, then we're going to get you. We might not get you today, it may be next week, next month, next year, but eventually it's going to catch up with you, and we're going to get you. That's what we do. Let's go home, man. It's my birthday, I'm tired.
Unit manager to all officers. We have an inmate unaccounted for.
Everybody in your cells.
He's not in the unit.
Might have a serious situation here. Inmates escape. This guy's name is Brian Lee. He's doing an 8-year sentence for armed robbery and arson. According to his records, he has a job off the compound outside the penitentiary. We're gonna send out a bolo to all law enforcement agencies, which is be on the lookout for escapee Brian Lee.
Attention all units. Be on the lookout for escaped felon Brian Calvin Lee. White male, 31 years old. Suspect is believed to be driving a stolen Kia Sportage. White in color. Vehicle has temporary tags. Tag number not known at this time. Last spotted in Missionary Baptist Church in Anderson County. Suspect should be considered dangerous and possibly armed.
If he's out running, you picked the wrong prison. It's always dangerous because you got so much going on in the prison facility. And you're outnumbered all the time. I mean, we're not talking about church choirs. You know, these are all the inmates, ex-cons, all of them in trouble for doing something.
Every second counts. We have a convicted felon on the run, and he knows we're coming after him.
Richard is very professional and very, very intelligent.
It looks a whole lot like cocaine.
A terrific investigator.
I told you from the start, I ain't gonna try to trick you.
Terrific agent. He is one of the last people I know that I would ever want investigating me, were I a criminal. When you got an inmate on escape, the first instinct is to go charging out and try to hurry up and go find him. That's what the highway patrol is for. They're gonna start the chase part of it, and we're gonna use our prison resources to figure out where he's headed to. The first thing we need to do is listen to Lee's phone calls to see if he may try to set this up with an accomplice or try to have some help on the outside.
Global Tel-Link. This call may be recorded or monitored. I have a prepaid call from...
Hello?
Please communicate with me on paper. I mean, I write you.
Hello, Brian.
Well, why don't you write me? I've been begging for a letter, you know, just begging. Please, just write your man. Are you messing with anybody?
No, Brian, I'm not.
Alright. When's the last time you talked to Brad?
In July.
You hadn't talked.
The 1st of July.
But listen, he hadn't come to your house. He hadn't.
No, Brian.
Did you mess with Bobby?
No, sirree.
Come on now.
I swear to God, Brian.
Who is that, Jimmy?
No, it's not Jimmy, it's Jeremy.
Tell him to go to hell home, dude. Get out of my house.
I think it's obvious that he's having trouble with his woman.
Take it a day at a time.
I don't want to take it a day at a time. I want to know that I got my old lady out there. I want to know that she's going to be there for me regardless. And there's no man going to step in it. I really don't know why I let you drive me crazy like that, but I'm through with you driving me crazy. This is my last call.
So,
I think we need to go talk to Lee Selly and see what he knows about this.
and Sully's gonna know something. Whether he realizes it or not, he'll be able to tell us something. State your full name, please.
Timothy Lee Sellers.
Okay. Mr. Sellers, I'm Special Agent Richard Metcalf. This is Special Agent John Fisher. We're with the TDOC Internal Affairs Division. We're conducting an investigation following the escape of inmate Brian Lee, which
Yes,
occurred today, as I'm sure you've heard through the grapevine.
Yes, sir.
Having been in cell with him, you've learned a little bit about it.
Yeah, he usually tells me everything.
Did he act any differently?
No.
Get quiet?
Well, I got him up after breakfast. I got him up to go to the morning meeting. I said, come back in, said, Brian, you need to get up. It's time to go to the meeting. He said, I don't want to go. I said, well, you got to get up. I said, we got to go to the meeting.
Is that the only thing you did out of the ordinary?
Yeah, that's the only thing he did. That was, I thought if he'd leave, he'd tell me. The man tells me everything. I know his whole personal life.
He's been tripping on his girl out there. What has he told you about her?
The girl named drives him crazy. All I know about his girl is, and then here about 3 days ago, was sometime towards the end of last week, he found out that she'd been messing with his friend.
And how did he get that information?
He was on the phone with her.
You can't be in no trouble. You won't be. I know like you be in no trouble.
I know, that's why I'm giving y'all every bit that I can. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want no part of what he done. It's on him. I got 2 kids to think about. And still got 6 years left on an 8-year sentence, and I'm not. I go back up for parole next year. I got my life to think about, not his. But no, he never told me not one time anything about leaving. Never. Which is real surprising to me. In my opinion, he got out there and just said, done it.
According to the Senate, he didn't have a plan, so it's quite possible he just ran off emotion, kind of a spur of the moment type thing. And that's bad, because in my experience, inmate running off emotion is really a dangerous inmate. It's a good bet he's headed to his girl's house and get over there and get her protected. I'm gonna look up her information off the phone number I got using the inmate telephone system. That comes back to Oliver Springs. Oh, that's South Knoxville. I gotta get a bolo out right now. We gotta get somebody patrolling that area.
Attention all units. Be on the lookout for escaped inmate Brian Calvin Lee, 31 years old, white male. Suspect is believed to be heading towards a girlfriend's residence in South Knoxville.
We don't know what this boy gonna do. He might try to go to this girl's house and commit some harm to her, beat her up, or kill her. I mean, who knows?
So we can cover more ground. We split up. All right.
We're gonna go down and see if we can try to locate and apprehend Mr. Lee. Inmate escape. This guy's name is Brian Lee. He's doing an 8-year sentence for armed robbery and arson.
But I'm through with you driving me crazy.
It's obvious that he's having trouble with his woman.
It appears that she's involved with another guy.
She been messing with his friend.
We have to assume he intends to do her harm. We certainly need to get him before he gets there.
Live from the news station, WATE-TV Knoxville.
31-year-old Brian Lee made a break from a work crew at an Anderson County church around 1 o'clock this afternoon.
We're going to head over to South Knoxville, where his girlfriend lives, and if our hunch is right, then he'll be headed that way.
Inmate Brian Calvin Lee was eating lunch when the pastor says he left the fellowship hall.
I assumed, I guess, that he was going to the bathroom.
And the pastor says he had no idea his car was gone until the officer in charge told him.
If the preacher would have realized he was stealing his keys out of his pocket and confronted him, he very well could have killed the old man. The inmate was obviously desperate. He hadn't thought this through.
You doing the same old again?
No, bud.
I really am tired of just dealing with it.
About 2-3 weeks ago, she cut him off.
Leave us a message after the beep.
Can't talk? You knew I was calling back. What's up, man? Bobby there?
She got to where she wouldn't even answer his call, so he would call various other people and have them three-way a call in hopes that she wouldn't realize it was him and she would answer.
And then I told her you was on the phone, it's probably you calling back, and she hung it up. And I don't know why she didn't answer.
Try it again.
He decided probably a day or two ago, okay, I'm out of here, whatever means.
She's with supposedly my friend now.
Imagine that.
Yeah. It's all right, though. I'm not going to be in here forever.
Usually, they have a better hatched plan. The last thing they want to do is be high profile. And you can't be much more high profile than stealing a vehicle in the state of Tennessee. So that just kind of speaks to his desperation.
More times than not, when someone escapes our custody, it's someone who's already outside the secure confines of a prison, such as being on a work detail. From there are no fences to climb, no technology to hold them back. They're just under the watchful eye of one person. Sometimes, though, there are inmates enterprising enough to beat the system, to beat our physical security, to be able to outsmart the technology, so to speak. Probably the most nerve-wracking was Rodriguez Jefferson. He did beat the system.
I couldn't get justice in court, so I took justice into my own hand. They wouldn't let me leave, so I left on my own.
Have you ever heard of Houdini? You know how he accomplished most of his tricks? It's prior planning. Some things are just mere appearances. You'll look at it and it may seem strong while you look at it, but if you pay attention close enough, you'll start to find weaknesses in it. I got to looking at the fences, and it's so simple that automatic weaknesses came in. My stepdad, he owned Music City Construction and Excavation, and so I know a lot about landscaping, building, fences, and all that type of things because I actually installed them. So it was pretty much nothing.
He went over 2 fences, through the razor wire, beat the fence detection system, the electronic surveillance, and motion sensors.
It was like a military training course on steroids, basically. I cleared it pretty quick. I went to the Pepsi plant. Behind it is a fence, and it's like 3 rows of like regular barbed wire. When I actually went over the fence, I actually slipped. When I slipped, I fell into the fence, and I had a real deep dash. I actually had to go inside the glass plant to try to find some duct tape or something because I wouldn't stop bleeding. But when I got inside though, it was already too late. I passed out, and when I woke up, I seen a whole lot of state trooper cars, and I was like, damn. If I didn't hurt my leg, I'd have still been sitting in the same spot, probably still snacking on the 2 bags of tater chips I had up there. Just waited them out. They probably never would have seen me again.
It's a game of fox and hound. It's our job to stay 1 step ahead of them and head them off the pass.
Attention all units, be on the lookout for escaped felon Brian Calvin Lee, white male, 31 years old. Suspect is believed to be driving a stolen Kia Sportage.
Dispatch, I have a white SUV ahead, traveling eastbound on Knoxville Highway. Checking it out. Okay, false alarm, looks like it's another make.
It's very important that we find Brian Lee. This guy's violent. He's proven that.
Doing an 8-year sentence for armed robbery and arson.
And we have to do the best we can to try to protect innocent life in this case.
Really, my brain is tired of fooling with her.
Yeah.
I just can't seem to get over it, you know?
Yeah.
Like I'm possessed or obsessed.
Attention all units, Highway Patrol has spotted a white Kia Sportage. Escaped felon Brian Calvin Lee, believed to be driving vehicle.
Somebody may have spotted the vehicle.
Attention all units, suspect Brian Calvin Lee has abandoned vehicle and is fleeing on foot. Highway Patrol is in pursuit.
Highway Patrol just put out a dispatch on the radio. It appears that one of the troopers has spotted Brian Lee and they're in foot pursuit.
Attention all units, suspect Brian Calvin Lee has been apprehended and is in custody. Suspect was combative and chemical agents were deployed.
All right, they got him. They got Brian Lee. We're gonna go get him and take custody of him, interrogate him, and get him back to the prison.
As soon as they got into the neighborhood, spotted the stolen vehicle, and sure enough, Brian Lee was in there. It was a short vehicle pursuit. He was trying to flee, of course. He was consuming alcohol the whole way, and he wrecked the vehicle. We chased him there for about 3 or 4 blocks, and he cornered himself. He ran in behind a house. He realized he was caged in and couldn't get out. He looked me in the eye and he said, "Shoot me." Obviously, I couldn't do that at that point, so I reholstered and went with intermediate weapons, took him down to the ground and handcuffed him. Once we took him into custody, a lot of talk, and he informed us that he escaped to get somebody.
He was looking for his girlfriend.
Right.
And it's our belief he was going to do her some harm.
Good evening. Tonight, an escaped inmate is back in custody. An undercover THP officer finally caught him.
The escaped inmate was cuffed in South Knoxville. He can now add theft and escape charges to his rap sheet.
These guys are awesome. Man, I got a chill ran up my spine when I got a chill ran up my spine when come over the radio. THP got him. Yeah.
What is this interview for?
It's concerning your escape. Okay.
I don't know why I did it, all that.
Well, I'm going to ask you details about it. And the purpose of that is we have to establish if there was any outside involvement. Apparently, there have been some issues with you and your girlfriend. That's so you had some issues with Miss, and that culminated in your decision to flee today. Is that correct? So you get down to the job site. Were you out there by yourself? No other inmates? No free world people? Did anybody see you when you pulled out of there? There was a cellular telephone in the vehicle. Who did you call? Did you attempt to call?
Nah.
Where did you obtain the bottle of liquor?
When I pulled over to use the bathroom and went into the bathroom, there was a bag there, so I grabbed it and there's some liquor in it.
You found this bottle. Jump back in the car. Start hitting the bottle.
No, I didn't drink none of that liquor in that car. I didn't drive the car drinking. No, I didn't. I escaped. I did do that.
Okay.
But other than that, and nobody knew about it. Nothing. Nobody even knew. I ain't even know when the day.
I want to understand this. You made the decision today to escape. Okay.
I'm done. Gonna go.
You're not gonna answer more questions?
I done a good interview, I think. Told you everything I done.
Only thing you're doing is telling us some of the stuff that we already know. We're gonna run all the phone numbers that's in that phone, and everybody that you call, we're going to get. And they're going to have to answer questions.
Okay.
We're gonna get, if you called her, she gonna be interrogated. No, if the interview is over, you can get your cell. I mean, unless you finna get back on tape.
You can run all you want to on that phone.
Stop.
No, listen. What I'm trying to tell you.
Let's go. Get your cell, man. I'm done with you.
Can I get a shirt?
Our escapee just wanted to tell us what we already know. It just complicates our investigation a little farther. We have to go locate these individuals who he was talking to at the time THP contacted him, determine whether or not they were involved, and whether anybody else aided him in his escape.
Been with this girl off and on for about 14 years. She started messing with my friend, and that's how it all started. I escaped on a Monday. I found out Saturday. I didn't plan it at all. It was a stupid move on my part. You know, I didn't get to see her or anything, you know. I regret it. When I first got in it, and I passed the church, I wanted to turn around and go back. But I couldn't because I was already gone, you know. Now I'm on max. Just get out 1 hour a day. Really, my brain is tired of fooling with her. I just can't seem to get over it, you know? I'm tired of chasing after her, you know what I mean? I'm tired of it. The problem is I love her. Right now, I still love her, you know? If I got out today, I'd be with her.
Sometimes inmates just snap and go off, especially when they get disturbing news from the outside. I mean, the world continues to turn. They don't stop turning. Running is the worst thing you can do because we're going to catch you. And then, the only thing you're going to be doing is doing more time.